What if I told you that the most powerful comeback in music right now isn't built on hype, noise, or shortcuts? It's built on time, on patience, on a bond that never broke, even when the stage lights went dark. Because after years of waiting, growing, and walking separate paths, BTS is finally coming back together, and this moment carries more weight than any chart number ever could. On March 20th, at exactly 1 p.m. KST, BTS will release their fifth full-length album, a 14-track project that doesn't just signal a return, it marks a reunion with themselves. This is their first true studio album in more than 6 years since Map of the Soul 7, and the first time in nearly 4 years that fans will hear a completely new, collective chapter from BTS. And this album is different. It wasn't created in a rush. It wasn't shaped by trends or expectations. It was built slowly, deliberately, and honestly. During the second half of 2025, the members focused entirely on this record, bringing in their individual thoughts, emotions, and experiences, then sitting together to decide what BTS should sound like now. Every song holds pieces of their journey, the uncertainty, the reflection, the growth, and the quiet strength it took to keep moving forward. You can feel it in the way the album is described, not as a product, but as a story. A story about who they were, who they became, and who they are choosing to be together again. And woven through every track is one unmistakable emotion: gratitude. Gratitude for the fans who waited, for the ones who believed during the quiet years, for the people who never left. This album isn't just music meant to be heard, it's a message meant to be felt. And just when that realization settles in, BTS gives fans another reason to hold their breath. On January 14th, they will reveal their world tour schedule. This will be their first large-scale tour in nearly 4 years, since Permission to Dance on Stage concluded in Las Vegas in 2022. 4 years of memories. 4 years of waiting to hear the crowd sing back. 4 years until the moment when new songs finally meet live voices, shared tears, and real-time connection. The idea of BTS standing on stage again, together, performing music that was born from reflection and resilience, is already sending waves through the global music world. But while the group prepares for this historic return, something else has been happening quietly, powerfully, and far beyond the stage. V's birthday. On December 30th, fans around the world didn't just celebrate, they acted. Inspired by his consistent kindness and values, fan bases across continents organized a heartfelt relay of donations that turned admiration into real-world impact. In Korea and the UK, donations supported the homeless and cancer research. In Spain, long-term housing and welfare programs were strengthened. In Japan, children in need received continued support. In Thailand, hundreds of blankets were delivered to children in Chiang Mai. In Nepal, students in mountainous regions received school supplies and warm clothing. In the Philippines, fans volunteered directly, bringing gifts to children, supporting disaster relief, and helping animal shelters. In Sri Lanka and Myanmar, donations helped save young lives and supported families struggling to survive. In India and Turkey, funds were raised for pediatric cancer patients and emergency relief efforts. In the Middle East, clean water, food, and essential resources reached communities in Yemen, Somalia, and Sudan. Even nature wasn't forgotten. Fans supported marine rescue centers, coral reef restoration, and animal protection projects around the world. This wasn't organized by one place. It wasn't driven by obligation. It was driven by inspiration. Because when someone leads with warmth, the echo can be felt everywhere. And while this compassion unfolded offline, V's presence online reached historic levels. In 2025, a single photo posted quietly during his military service became the most liked Instagram post by a Korean celebrity, surpassing 17.7 million likes and nearly 2 million shares. In a space flooded with content, one honest moment stood above everything else. V now holds 7 Instagram posts with over 10 million likes each, something no other Korean celebrity has ever achieved. His influence has been undeniable from the beginning. From setting Guinness World Records for the fastest follower growth, to becoming the first Asian celebrity to pass 20 million likes on a single post, to ranking among the most influential influencers worldwide, his reach has never relied on constant exposure. Even with limited comment functions, his engagement rate remains one of the highest globally. People don't just scroll past, they stop, they feel, they respond. And that's the thread connecting everything. An album created with intention, a tour that brings people back together, a fan base that transforms love into action, and an artist whose influence exists far beyond numbers and screens. This isn't just a comeback, it's a reminder that when sincerity lasts, when connection is real, and when time is respected, the impact doesn't fade, it deepens.